So, Uncharted is a video game series that everyone's known to love, and The Lost Legacy is out now. And today, in a tribute of The Lost Legacy, we're going to be doing a documentary about Uncharted, talking about every single Uncharted game, including the PlayStation All-Star Battle Royale, because I just found out it has some sort of a story to it. And also we're going to be talking about the film and much more other stuff. We may go off topic with other stuff and you may not see any pictures for other scenes, but I guess that's how it's going to go. So, just want to also let you know that this is a test. If I can edit this and bring this out on the day that The Lost Legacy comes out in the UK, then I'm guessing I'm able to actually edit a short film. Okay, here's a different type of an intro that, well, here's the intro. So let's begin with the obvious question. What is Uncharted? Uncharted is a video game based series around Nathan Drake and Sully, and also Elena. This video game series is about thieves trying to steal stuff from other thieves. In every Uncharted video game, there is always an enemy and there's always a boss battle at the end of the game. I'm guessing apart from the iOS game and one of the PlayStation Vita games, but that's how it always goes. You follow Nathan Drake through the different video games of Uncharted until you get into Uncharted 4, when that's the end of it. But let's start from the beginning and talk about one by one, and then also eventually talk about the movie, the Nathan Drake collection, and much more. Please do note that I have played a bit of Uncharted 1, I've played a bit of Uncharted 2, and I've seen footage of Uncharted 3, and I've played Uncharted 4 twice. So please note that I may not have that much to say about each game, and this is not a review. I will put links down to one of the reviews I did for Uncharted 4. So yes. Okay, let's start out with Uncharted 1. Starting off with Uncharted 1, so this was basically the first game. So, you know Naughty Dog, these are the creators of these games, and this is basically the first Uncharted game that they made. This one was released on the PlayStation 3, and it was released way back in November the 19th, 2007. And of course there's a story. Now let me tell you what I know from this. I've played it up to the part where Nathan is just running away. This is still at the beginning. So, Sully gets shot at the start. Big spoiler alert. But he does come back. I have no idea how. So we see at the start, start, that Nathan and Elena are on the boat, and Elena's got this camera filming, and she's filming, and then Nathan says stop, and then they have a bit of an argument, and then some pirates comes and then they shoot, and then they go on to this, and then the next scene comes and you pretty much know the rest of that. So I think it will help if I just read this from Naughty Dog. Now I won't be reading this out of from all games, because out of all of them, Naughty Dog only actually created Uncharted 1, 2, 3 and 4 and The Lost Legacy. They did not create the Vita games, or otherwise it would be on that page. Uncharted 1. Okay, a 400-year-old clue in the Clipper of Sir Francis Drake. You remember that guy? Says Nathan Drake an exploration for the feeble treasure of El Duar, leading to the discovery of the forgotten island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I've heard that word beforehand. The search turns deadly when Drake becomes stranded on the island and hunted by machine mules. I have no idea what that means. Outnumbered and outgunned, Drake and his companions must fight to survive as they begin to reveal the terrible secrets hidden on the island. So, in Uncharted 4 they say that Sir Francis Drake faked his death but really didn't. Now, I have not got up to that part in Uncharted, but I do know that, I do know one other thing about this game. This game, it has a boss, it does, and it's also like the first game that has the controls are still getting used to, and also the reviews of this game was quite good. One of another successful Naughty Dog game, which is fantastic.
I sure hope you know.
Uncharted 2. Uncharted 2 was released in October the 13th, 2009, in the spirit of Halloween. It was released on the PlayStation 3, and it was also aged like the other games, age 16, and for America, T for teens. So, like always, I've played the start of this one, but I'm still getting used to the controls on this, because I'm starting to think the controls in Uncharted 2 completely suck. Something in Uncharted 1, if you're moving about on that high edge, you can die easily, but in Uncharted 4 they make it more better, they do, which I am quite happy to see about that. Okay, before I tell you what I know, okay, down on this slug, Drake is lured back into the treasure world of thieves and mystery treasure secrets. The words that they use, jeez. He had a stroke to leave behind when a mysterious artifact prophesied Drake on an expedition to find the legendary blah blah, I can't read that, of Shambhala. He finds himself inborn in a dangerous game of cat and mouse against a fugitive war criminal who's after more than the feeble witches of the lost city. I don't know why they say the word witches, I find that weird. Caught in the web of this witch, this Drake of Drake Dispension, plugged into an Inca's deadly pursuit that tests the limits of endurance. Drake will be forced to risk everything, but has luck finally run out. Well, you do see at the start of the game, before we start, that Nathan Drake is beaten up and looks like he's about to die. Well, really he doesn't. If he was going to die, then he'll be dead by now. But what I know at the start, that we meet these two characters called Chloe and also this other guy called Harry, who is British. You can tell by the accent. Alright mate, come from London. So they want to go and steal something for their clients, and that's all I fairly know. I know that one of them turns on each other, and I know that Sully is also in this one, including Elena. And you know, Chloe is also one of the main stars in The Lost Legacy also. So I guess that's something to be like. Like I said, I don't know much about this. Uncharted 3. Uncharted 3 was released back in November the 1st, 2011. Now this is when things get a bit tricky because there have been multiple Uncharted games that got released back in 2011, but we'll just talk about Uncharted 3. Okay, this as usual released on the PlayStation 3, age 16 and teen for teens. Okay, so I've actually known more about this than the other ones. Okay. A search for the Phoebus architect of the sands proposes fortune hunter Nathan Drake on a darkened track into the heart of the evil desert. A journey that pits him and his mentor, Victor Sullivan, or I just like to call him Sully, against the aqueous treasury of a shadow, I can't read that, organisation and its ruthless leader when the troubled secrets of the lost city are unearthed. Drake's quest descends into a desperate breed for survival that strains the limits of endurance. And faces him into the combat of the secret spheres. Okay, so that's that. So in this they delve deeper into this game. Of course you've got Sully, Elaine, and also I know Chloe, whatever, they're in this game. But you also, at the start of the game, you play as Nathan Drake and then you play as young teen Nathan Drake. Because in Uncharted 4 you play as the child version, this one is the teen version. Now I just want to let you know that I think this is a time when they don't know, they have not created the brother symbol. They may have either referenced it or not, I don't know. I haven't played the full games yet, even though I've got the Nathan Drake collection just standing on the table. Not that much has been said about Nathan Drake's older brother. So, he's a teen, and we know that he's going to steal something now, which is his mother's, which is family stuff, which if that was me, then yes, I would. But another evil organisation wants this, and now they know that now they know someone's onto them. Basically, they want to kill the young Nathan Drake, which they don't. Sully. This is also the part where Nathan Drake first meets Sully, and Sully becomes quite a nice guy and defends him and shoots and defeats some of those guard things. So that's how I'm guessing he's still alive, and yeah, it's a good relationship, I will actually say. But I will say this, that Sully looks better in Uncharted 4. Be mad. So this game I heard was also going to be the last Uncharted, which was silly to think that, because then after this, moving on to a different one, we got the Nathan Drake collection back in 2015. Well, to be actually more precise about that, the 7th of October 2015. Now, the Nathan Drake collection was nothing new, just updated graphics, also different pause menus, the same voice actors were there, just they rendered it the different way and stuff. It's like recreating a video. But the Nathan Drake collection considered of Uncharted 1, 2 and also 3, with also the usual stuff that you had in the original games when it was on the PlayStation 3. And this game was also rated as 16, and it was also on the PlayStation 4, so I'm guessing that you can get Uncharted 1, 2 or 3, either on the PlayStation 3 or the PlayStation 4, which I like. Compatibility is key to life, and this was also rated as 16 and a teen for teens. I don't want to talk about this one for much, but we're going to talk about the PlayStation's All Battlestar Royale. This is basically a first game where you get to first different characters, so like Nathan Drake versus Paul Rapper, or Big Daddy versus Nathan Drake, those type of ones. Now I didn't know this, but there is actually a story mode in there. So I'm guessing at the start you see two cutscenes and Sully is in this, and I guess they're gonna go and steal something. So you get to play as different characters, including Nathan Drake, This one was released back in November of 2012 on the 20th. So that basically this was released 1 year after Uncharted 3 and including a feature game. So you could say that this is kind of like the timeline after one of the Uncharted games, which is basically weird in some sort of a way. This was released on the PlayStation 3 and also on the PlayStation Vita. Aged 12, and I'm guessing for America this would be either teen for teens or E for everyone. So this is, well, I'm guessing, quite good. If you bought the PlayStation 3 one, you would get this automatically on your Vita if you had one. So yes, I'm considering of buying it because it looks really, really good.
Pile it on, I can take it.
Let's talk about these Vita games and these iOS games for a second. These Vita games and iOS games where there's only about 2 Vitas and 1 iOS. Now I know that the iOS one is actually more recent into like portable stuff. It was called Uncharted Fortune Hunter, and then the other one was Golden Abyss, was actually a proper story, and that was released in 2011. And also there was another one for the Vita, Fight for Fortune. Now Golden Abyss is basically you get to play as Nathan Drake. I do not know too much about this one. I don't know where the timeline is. I'm thinking this is like another cheap version of Uncharted 1, but I don't know too much about this. All I know is that you get to play as Uncharted. All I know you get to play as Nathan Drake, there's enemies, and Cadius likes this one a lot. And also Uncharted Fight for Fortune is basically a cards game where in certain places you get to play as Nathan Drake. And Fortune Hunters for iOS and Android, and you get to play some random dude instead of Nathan Drake, I'm hearing, but to be honest this guy looks like Nathan Drake quite a lot. I know that Sully somehow is in this one, and there's no voiceovers, and this is basically a game that you get to play on your phone, which is kind of like if you can't get the newest Uncharted, then you just get this. But
You ever wonder, like, different choices, how we might have ended up?
okay, so now getting up to the most recent stuff. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. I actually know the proper title like this, instead of, I don't know the other ones quite well. This one was released on the PlayStation 4, like always, and this also was released in the year 2016, last year, the 10th of May. Now, this was actually quite different because, well, I can't remember the last time an Uncharted game was released in May. Okay, so this one introduced a lot of stuff, including some Crash Bandicoot references, including a level that you get to play as Trice, and also you get to play as young child Nathan Drake, including Samuel Drake's in this, and we get to understand who he is and also get to understand more of the Nathan Drake storyline. We know now that he was in an orphanage, same as his older brother, and the orphanage was run by nuns. Bit depressing, I know, but in this one they introduce a new line of gun gameplay, and they also introduce a new storyline, and I feel like everything's better in this game. The graphics look amazing. And like I said once, it's like Batman Arkham Knight meets another game, meets Uncharted 3, and then they made this game. So I love this one quite a lot. And if you want to play a new Uncharted game on the PlayStation 4 and you've only got a PlayStation 4, I wouldn't say get the Nathan Drake collection. I would say get the Lost Legacy and Uncharted 4 if you're 16. Well, if you're 15 for the other 3, but yeah. Now, not much is actually known about this film. I've talked about this multiple times in Let's Talk Seeing, Acting and Dancing, and ASAT Gaming Time, which is the 2 series I have on different channels. But the Uncharted movie, we know from this that people have wanted it for quite a long time, for about 8 years now. I'm guessing 9 now. And also Tom Holland from the Spider-Man Homecoming film and upcoming films, The Avengers Infinity War and Spider-Man Homecoming 2. Tom Holland has been cast to play as young Nathan Drake, but also on IMDb it's just been cast to play as Nathan Drake, so I'm guessing young Nathan Drake. I have no idea. We don't know what storyline they're going to take this from. We don't know if they're going to put something from the films or make something original or a pre-story. We have no idea. Or they could just basically base this about the young Nathan Drake and exploring their adventures and how, when Nathan Drake talks about his childhood in Uncharted 4, see what that actually means. But we have no idea what's going to happen. We don't know the storyline and we're still waiting, but I will put the IMDb link in the description below. Now, considering that we've actually talked about everything, the story, I just want to talk about the story fully without any pictures up and just music in the background. I hope you mind this. The story is something that you would expect from something else. Some of the stuff, like for monsters being in Uncharted, could be real in real life or not. But being in an orphanage when you're like a child or even a teenager is real, and running away from the cops is also real, and getting away from it is also real. People have figured this out beforehand. In Uncharted 4, I feel like most players will get emotionally attached to Nathan Drake, why they want to play it at least twice or even more. Now, I'm not too sure if the Lost Legacy will be able to redo this. As of from I know now, spoiler alert, Samuel Drake is in this game until the end. He makes his appearance, but I'm not going to say too much, and I'm quite happy that they are in there. And also there's some references, and I knew this was going to happen, some references to Nathan and Samuel Drake. Quite amazing. But I just want to talk about the child Nathan Drake and the Samuel one. I'm going to show you a picture when this ends, and I want you just to think about it, and then we'll go on to the next one. The picture I'm going to show you is that this is either set that after they say they're going to run away and they get caught, or it's beforehand. When is this set? Because I am completely confused. I can only find this on the Uncharted 4 gallery, and I'm hoping I'll be able to find it on the internet. But is this realistic? Are these two kids able to run away from the police and not get into trouble and start over? Well, in real life, a person who looks after kids would be worried like hell, and they would want the police to find them instead of them getting hurt or getting killed. But yeah, again, you also have to realise this: these nuns may not be as you seem. They may not seem as caring as they are. They may not be as you think they are. They could be completely different, and for them running away, I would totally understand that. But for real life's sakes, I would always think that a child and a teen needs time to do this, because everyone gets raised in a way. Everyone has parents. Like, you could be born, have parents and get killed off, and then find out you were brought up in an orphanage or like in a care home, which is true. But is running away most of the time the answer? I don't know, because I've never been in that position before in my life. After all, I'm 16 and about to turn 17. So just want you to think about this. Do you get emotionally attached to these stories, and do you deep down, do you feel like there's a theory behind all of this, and there's something that you want to talk about but you can't explain the word? There's a word that explains all this, but yeah. Okay, so here's the picture. So lastly, I want to talk about Uncharted The Lost Legacy. You thought I was going to not talk about this one. Uncharted The Lost Legacy, we could all call it Uncharted 5 if we wanted to, but we'll just call it The Lost Legacy for time's sake. Okay, so this one was originally going to be a long DLC in Uncharted 4, but then they expanded it and now it's a whole video game, and now it's available on the PlayStation 4. And for most of the world is actually out now. I think it came out on the 20th of August for them, and for the UK it comes out on the 23rd it does of August, and that's why I'm quite annoyed that they've allowed gameplays, which just Dance stuff and Ubisoft, they block it through. Well, guessing that they do that anyway. So Uncharted The Lost Legacy, you play as a former villain, Nadine was, and also a friend of Nathan Drake's, Chloe. You mainly play as Chloe and Nadine helps, and Samuel comes in, I have no idea when. There's a new villain, there's a new tactic, there's a new what you're getting, there's everything is just new, but most of the stuff is still here from Uncharted 4. So most gameplays and the before you buy video, and also trailers actually do talk about that, and also on the PlayStation channel they talk about that also from the making of the Uncharted Lost Legacy. Now I'm hoping that this is not going to be the end, because I feel like there is a lot more that they could explore with different characters, including with Samuel Drake. But have you always thought, we know we're done with Nathan and we know we're done with Elena, but is Naughty Dog going to go this far to kill off Samuel Drake, have another death, and not do a funeral scene with Nathan or Elena there, or even Sully? Like, are they going to go that far? Because if they do, then I would say that's going to be a bit stupid of Naughty Dog to do that. But if that ever does happen, I have faith in them that they will have Nathan Drake back just for that scene. Because I'm guessing in some sort of a way, if Samuel Drake's there, then there's some sort of a presence of Nathan Drake there. So the feel of him is not gone, but himself as the character he's done, retired, yeah. Well, I hope you enjoyed today's little documentary. I tried to make it different and hopefully I've edited it a different way. I'm treating this like a big video, but this should be out soon. I'm probably not going to do any trailers for it, as of I just want this to come out when it comes out, and there's probably not going to be any deleted scenes, behind the scenes, but probably a talk video, and then that's it. I won't be making any of my own music for this time, because I feel like using other people's music steps up the production in this. Hopefully when I go on my computer it doesn't scare me of how many clips I hit. Anyway, thank you guys for watching so much, and yes, I guess here's the credits, and I'll see you on the next one.